Update, big update, probably one of the biggest ever. I've got a lot of stuff going on lately, a lot of things cooking, brewing. So, four things I want to mention in this video: the future reviews, future stop motions, other stuff I've been doing, and then another other stuff I've been doing, but a different other stuff I've been doing. So, starting with what most of you are probably here for, the reviews. Now, I have this really bad habit of like saying I'll do a thing and then forgetting to, and then weeks and months go by and then I never do it. A while back, I said I wanted to do a red versus blue review, and then I tried like 3 times to make the video, but I kept like accidentally deleting it or something. And it's been so long, but I still want to do it. And hey, wait, who's that green guy? I don't remember a green guy. What? What the hell? So what I'm thinking I might do is I might comb through as many videos as I can, try to find any time I've mentioned something or alluded to the idea of reviewing something and then covering it. Obviously, I can't do them all, and I'm pretty sure there aren't even that many. Like, I probably won't do a Bionicle review anytime soon because that'd take way too long to research. At some point before, maybe after this video, I should have a Metropolis review coming out. There are a lot of video ideas I have that are just too big or require too much research or time to make, so I'm putting them on the back burner for now. I'm going to try to focus on some shorter, easier to make ones. I might revisit some older stuff, not like re-review it, but just kind of talk about it in other ways that aren't a review. There have been a lot of new releases from DC lately, and I do really want to talk about a lot of it, but I also don't want this to just be exclusively a DC related channel. I'm trying to balance things out and cover things that are, not that. In fact, right after I finished that Crisis video, I noticed that there were a bunch of flaws and incorrect information and a bunch of other details that I forgot to mention. So I'm gonna have to make a part two. The part two will be significantly shorter. It's not going to be anywhere near as complex or crazy, but still, it's just another thing that I have to like wait to do for a while so I don't release too many DC videos. What I'm trying to say is I've got no shortage of ideas. The future videos expect them to be a bit shorter, hopefully like 10 to 15 minutes long. Nothing, no hour long essays anytime soon. And if I ever get to covering a lot of the newer DC stuff, it might be a little late. Next on the chopping block, the stop motions. So it's been a while since I've made a standalone, completely non-canon stop motion. I don't really have any plans to bring that back, but I guess it would be pretty neat. They're kind of a bit of a bygone era on this channel. But as for the main series, it just wrapped up its first volume, and I'm planning on capping it off with a feature-length movie and a special presentation. My planned structure for the rest of the series will be that there are 2 seasons. Each season is split into 2 volumes. Each volume is followed by a movie, and then each season also has one special feature. So, to basically explain it, is it's a volume, a movie, a special, a volume, a movie, a volume, a movie, a special, a volume, a movie, if that makes any kind of sense. I've been kicking around the idea of maybe expanding beyond just Batman and Spider Man as the protagonists, but I don't know, it's all still very early development. But, it'd be nice to give other characters the spotlight too. As for the first movie, again, it's not set in stone, so I don't want to give away too much, but my plan is that the main villain will be Mongol, and this is a very important key plot point, but it's his birthday. It's going to be a very important key plot point that it's Mongol's birthday. It will also be introducing a new character. And no, not a really obscure character from something, not a character made by the internet that people don't talk about. No, 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 no. I mean a completely new original character. I have a rule not to do this for the series, but I'm going to break the rule once and only one. Well, actually, I'm going to do it technically twice in this one, but forget I said that. Anyways, this is a character who I made up when I was like one and haven't thought about ever since. But now it's finally her time to shine. So let's give a round of applause. Yay. The heroes may have to team up with a villain at one point. There may be a civil war or a very small scale civil war type event happening, and the final detail that I want to reveal is that there will be a character that somewhat contributes to that's kind of alluded to, but not really there. Gordon Ramsay. All of that is very early in development, so I could decide to change my mind at the last second and not do any of it, but as of now, that's my vision, so there you go. Next category is the stuff that's kind of related to the channel, but not really. So recently, I've set up accounts on both DeviantArt and Wattpad. Now, you might be thinking, hold on, DeviantArt and Wattpad, aren't they reserved for the degenerates? Well, I'm flattered that you think of me as not a degenerate. However, that ain't true. I'll mostly just be posting random drawings and sketches over there, nothing really you need to worry about. Now, the Wattpad is when things get a bit more interesting. So, I already said this a pretty long time ago, but the entirety of Dreamer's Odyssey Season 1 is up on there, and I am still working on Season 2. It's been 5 years. Literally nobody cares, but I'm getting really close to finishing, well, close to starting Season 2, and as well as plotting out everything beyond that. So, I'm really excited. Hopefully that'll go somewhere, but that's not really the main thing with the Wattpad, though. But the main reason why I bring it up is because there are 3 comics that I've made. Well, I only really have episode 1 of each made. I don't know if they'll be out on the website as of this video's release, because they're finished, they're just not out yet. But there are 3 comics I've made, and I'm very proud of them, and I'm very excited to show you these 3. So the first of these that I want to bring up is Secret Origins, which is actually a prequel to the LEGO stop-motion series that takes place 8 years prior. So the only thing I really want to say about it is that the first installment will have, like, pencil and crayon drawings. That's just because the panels were repurposed from something else. But in the later ones, they're going to have properly edited and drawn out frames. I'm thinking about doing more of these kind of prequel in the universe of the stop motion things. I just don't know what any of them would be about, though. The second of these I'd like to bring up is a spin-off of Dreamer's Odyssey entitled Dreamer's Odyssey: The Executable. So this one is going to be a prequel taking place a few hundred years prior, but it's actually also a sequel to a stop-motion 40-minute movie I did a while back called The Sonic Project, which was actually meant to be the finale of the live-action Sonic skit series I did when the channel started, which was also a crossover with Dreamer's Odyssey. But this comic is gonna, like, kind of loosely retcon some of that, so he's not really Sonic anymore. He's just a, like, celebrity who's all retired and depressed and sad and everything. And finally, this third one is not a prequel or a spin-off or a fan story of anything. This one is like the first completely original thing, and I'm actually very excited to show you. It will be called Plushie Academy, which basically focuses on a world where there's humans, and then there's these kind of part robot, part animal, living stuffed animal people, basically. But here's the thing with the Academy. It's no ordinary school. It's actually a government-oriented spy program meant to train the plushies to become secret agents and infiltrate other governments. Okay, if all that nonsense made absolutely no sense to you, think of it like this. You know how in Monsters, Inc., their whole society is built upon them being monsters? Like them being scary and using closets and all that kind of stuff? Think of that. Just replace monsters with nanny cams. Now might be a good time to mention that I originally got this idea from a random weird dream I had once. A dream that also involved Chris Hemsworth. I wanted to add something a bit more girly to round out the catalog. It's not going to be as mature or dark as some of the other ones. Even though the story itself was based on a dream I had, the main, like, meat of it, I like to think of a lot more as a cross between Codename Kids Next Door and Blood Bunny, just not as bloody and with not as much bunny, or maybe actually the same amount of bunny, I'm not really sure yet. Now, these are going to be graphic novels, which means they aren't like comics where it's mostly pictures. There's only going to be some pictures here and there, but with mostly text. Except for Executable, will actually have no pictures because I literally had no idea how to even draw it. Alright, now let's say you don't want to read some long overarching comic series trilogy, or an unfinished long overarching comic series trilogy. Well, I did release a one-shot thing that's like it's already up on the website, it's already completely done, the full story is out there. It's called That Lady in the Hill. This one I made just because I was bored. It's literally based on a throwaway gag from an episode of the Dead Meat podcast. One last thing I want to talk about in regards to the comics is the fact that Secret Origins, despite technically being canon to the LEGO stop-motion series, And the Lego stop motion series is meant to be a kid's show. This one it gets a little dark at times. There's some light cursing and light blood, so I guess like don't go into it expecting it to be exactly like the stop motion because it will be pretty different. So the last big thing in the update is something I've been working on that's not really related to the channel, kind of outside of it. I've been making a choose your own adventure. Now, don't get too excited. It's not like the kind on YouTube with the videos and you click and. Now, this one I made on Google Slides because, again, I was bored one day and I didn't expect it to be anything big, but then it ended up expanding into this whole crazy thing. So, once I'm done with that, I'm going to make all the slides free to click the link and then I'll probably, like, release it somewhere. It's called Monkey Does a Thing. And yes, I just made up that title as I was going on. Pretty much the entire story I was just making up as I went on. But I actually do think it's really funny. It's pretty good. What else? I'm like pretty close to being done with it. I'd say like 3/4 of the way through. But even once I do finish it, I'm gonna have to comb through the entire thing and make sure it's all consistent and make sure every slide has the like view with link thing open, whatever that is. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for Monkey Does a Thing to release that when it's done. So, of course, the wattpads and the DeviantArts will be in the description of this video, unless I forget, which I probably will. Monkey Does a Thing. Don't be expecting it like too soon or anything like that. And also, quick little warning: there is some AI in it. I didn't actually use AI or make an AI. I wanted to reference a bunch of memes, especially a lot of very dead memes. And one of them that I threw in was the opium bird, and that one is technically made by AI. Just putting it out there. I don't really like AI. I don't support it, but I just thought it'd be funny to have the bird, so it's in there. So yeah, that's all the updates. Really excited for all the reviews, stop motions, comics, choose your own adventures, all the things. Really excited to make and release all that for the future. I hope you're just as excited as I am, maybe even more, maybe even less, maybe even exactly the same. Really happy. Gonna be starting school pretty soon, so hopefully they don't, crush my dreams like they usually do. Hopefully the work isn't too hard and there's too much of it that's deemed more important, so I have to give up on all this. I end up not making a single one of these, even though I really, really wanted to, and it would have made me really, really happy to see it come to fruition, but no, because I had schoolwork to do. Public education, everybody.